Beneath the twinkling lights and festive cheer of Christmas lies a world of untold mysteries, a realm where unanswered questions linger and the line between fact and legend blurs. Today, we're unwrapping 4 of the most perplexing Christmas mysteries that continue to baffle experts across the globe. From spontaneous combustion to Christmas sonic attacks, get ready to dive into the unknown, the unexpected, and the unexplained. On Christmas Eve, 1945, a chilling tragedy struck the Sodder family of Fayetteville, West Virginia, plunging their lives into a haunting mystery that remains unsolved to this day. At around 1:30 a.m, George and Jenny Sodder awoke to breaking glass and the smell of smoke. Their house was on fire, and while 4 of their 9 children made it out alive, 5 children seemingly vanished without a trace. Desperation turned to horror as George and Jenny tried to save their missing children. George smashed a window to re-enter the burning home, only to be repelled by the intense flames. Efforts to find a ladder or start a truck to help rescue them also failed. By the time firefighters arrived, delayed by miscommunications and limited resources, the house was reduced to ashes. No remains of the missing children were found in the rubble. Theories swirled. Could the children have perished in the fire, their bodies reduced to nothing? This seemed unlikely. Experts suggested even the hottest blazes leave some form of trace. Or were they kidnapped? Jenny's determination was unshakable. "I know my children are alive somewhere," she insisted, launching a relentless search. Their quest for answers yielded baffling clues. Witnesses claimed to see a speeding car near the house that night, and months later Jenny received a mysterious letter. It contained a photograph of a young man resembling their son Louis, with a bizarre message scrawled on the back. Yet attempts to trace its origins led nowhere. Years passed, but the Sodders never gave up. They erected a billboard displaying the faces of their missing children, a haunting plea for information that became a local landmark. Theories multiplied. Some believed the children had been abducted due to George's outspoken criticism of Italian dictator Mussolini, suggesting a sinister plot. Others speculated the fire was a cover-up for a deeper conspiracy. One peculiar detail added to the intrigue: the family dog, Buster, was not at home that night, but found wandering nearby the next day. Could he have been removed to prevent him from raising the alarm? Despite leads and decades of investigation, the fate of the Sodder children remains a mystery. The case highlights the agony of unanswered questions, the lengths to which a family will go to find the truth, and the resilience of hope. On Christmas Eve 1885, farmhand John Larson joined his employers Patrick and Matilda Rooney for an evening of drinks in their cozy farmhouse outside Seneca, Illinois. After a night of cheer, Larson retired upstairs to bed. During the night, he woke up coughing, struggling to breathe, before drifting back to sleep again. When he awoke on Christmas morning, he noticed soot on his pillow, a strange prelude to the horrors he was about to uncover. Downstairs, Larson found Patrick Rooney lifeless in his bedroom. Matilda was missing. The unsettling discovery grew darker when Larson entered the kitchen. There, he stumbled upon a large, blackened hole in the wooden floor, surrounded by ashes and a single charred human foot. These remnants were all that remained of Matilda Rooney. It appeared that Matilda had fallen victim to the rare and gruesome phenomenon of spontaneous human combustion. Her body had been reduced to ash, a process requiring temperatures as high as 1000 degrees Celsius. Yet the fire had left the rest of the house untouched. Patrick, it seemed, had succumbed to smoke inhalation during the mysterious blaze. Larson had been spared, likely due to the closed door of his upstairs bedroom. Rumours swirled. Some speculated that Larson might have been involved, but there was no evidence of foul play. How could such an intense fire be set without consuming the rest of the house? Others whispered of divine punishment for Matilda's indulgence in alcohol on Christmas Eve. This brings us to the spine-chilling question: is spontaneous human combustion real? Science says almost certainly not. Theories about the phenomenon often trace back to outdated medical ideas, like imbalances in bodily humours or alcohol making the body flammable. But neither holds up under scrutiny. Even the most intoxicated individuals don't have enough alcohol in their systems to ignite spontaneously, and any such fire would still require an external spark. A more plausible explanation lies in the wick effect. In this process, clothing absorbs melted body fat, acting like a candle wick. Once ignited, perhaps by a cigarette, match, or another heat source, the fire can smoulder for hours, consuming the body while leaving its surroundings largely intact. Experiments have shown this effect can mimic the characteristics of so-called spontaneous combustion. Severe intoxication or other impairments may make a victim less likely to react, allowing the fire to burn unnoticed. Whether sparked by human error or misunderstood natural processes, the death of Matilda Rooney remains a strange and sombre tale woven into the lore of Christmas's darkest moments. The quiet town of Warminster in southwest England became the epicentre of a chilling mystery in the 1960s, earning its place in history as one of the UK's first UFO hotspots. But it wasn't strange lights in the sky that initially put Warminster on the map. It was a series of bizarre, unexplained sounds. On Christmas morning 1964, residents of Warminster were jolted awake by intense, pounding vibrations, what they later described as sonic attacks. One woman was startled by what seemed like repeated impacts on her roof. Rushing to her window, she expected to see stormy weather or falling debris. Instead, she was met with a clear, calm sky and an eerie humming sound. Nothing had touched the roof. And she wasn't alone. Similar experiences were reported all over town, from scattered homes to a nearby military base, where 30 soldiers claimed to hear the same unsettling noises. Yet despite the widespread disturbance, no one could pinpoint the source. There was nothing in the sky, no visible signs of disruption, just the mysterious, resonating sound. The strangest encounter belonged to a local woman named Marjorie Bye. On her way to church for Christmas service, she was suddenly overcome by powerful vibrations. They were so intense they knocked her to the ground, leaving her immobile. Marjorie later described the experience as being pinned down by the invisible fingers of sound. The phenomenon, dubbed The Thing, didn't stop with Christmas. Over the following months, Warminster residents continued to hear these unexplained sounds. But by the summer of 1965, the mystery deepened. Witnesses began reporting sightings of unidentified flying objects in the skies above the town. The UFO craze hit its peak when a photograph of a supposed flying saucer was splashed across newspapers, drawing enthusiasts and investigators to Warminster in droves. For a time, the town became a mecca for UFO believers, each hoping to glimpse the mysterious thing or its aerial counterparts. But as quickly as the phenomenon arrived, it also faded. The sightings and sounds stopped, and the hype eventually dwindled. Yet the mystery of Christmas 1964 lingers. Decades later, no one has been able to explain the origin of the strange sounds that disturbed Warminster's residents, or the invisible force that overwhelmed Marjorie Bye. Was it an otherworldly visitation, a bizarre natural phenomenon, or something more sinister? While the sounds and sightings have long since vanished, the questions they left behind still echo, much like the thing that shook a quiet town on that unforgettable Christmas morning. The poem A Visit from St. Nicholas, better known by its famous opening line, "'Twas the night before Christmas," has become a cornerstone of holiday tradition. Yet its origins are shrouded in mystery, making it one of the most fascinating Christmas stories of all time. When the poem first appeared in the Troy Sentinel on December the 23rd, 1823, it was published anonymously. Its vivid imagery of St. Nicholas, reindeer, and the magic of Christmas Eve captured readers' imaginations and quickly became a holiday classic. But as its popularity grew, so did the question: who wrote it? For over 2 decades, the author's identity remained a mystery. Finally, in 1844, Clement Clark Moore, a professor and theologian, stepped forward to claim he was the poem's creator. According to Moore, the poem had been sent to the Sentinel by a friend without his knowledge. Moore later admitted that he had been hesitant to take credit, dismissing the work as too whimsical and unscholarly for a man of his academic standing. But not everyone was convinced. In fact, some believed the real author wasn't Moore at all, but a man named Henry Livingston Jr., a writer and farmer who died in 1828. The debate began to heat up in the 20th century, and in 2000, professor and literary sleuth Donald Wayne Foster reignited the controversy with a bold claim. The poem's style, tone, and language matched Livingston's work far better than Moore's. Foster pointed out that Moore's reputation as a reserved and unsentimental man seemed at odds with the joyous, playful spirit of A Visit from St. Nicholas. On the other hand, Livingston was known for his light-hearted poetry and festive spirit, making him a more likely candidate. Further adding to the intrigue, Livingston's family claimed to remember hearing him recite the poem years before it appeared in print. One of the most compelling clues lies in the names of Santa's reindeer. In the original 1823 publication, the last 2 reindeer are called Dunder and Bliksem, the Dutch words for thunder and lightning. Moore, who did not speak Dutch, later wrote the names as Donder and Blitzen, a change attributed to a printer's error. Livingston, however, had Dutch heritage and frequently used Dutch phrases in his writings. This linguistic detail has become a cornerstone of the argument for Livingston's authorship. Despite extensive analysis and spirited debate, no definitive evidence has emerged to settle the question. Moore remains the officially credited author, but the possibility of Livingston's hand in crafting this beloved holiday poem continues to intrigue historians and fans alike. From the Sodder children's disappearance to the Warminster Thing's eerie Christmas encounter, these mysteries remind us that even the most festive of seasons has its enigmas. What do you think lies behind these Christmas mysteries? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the unexplained, please do consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help us out a lot. But as always, thank you for watching, stay curious, and we'll see you on the next one. Oh, and have a great Christmas.